Hello, I'm Charles Gross.
And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake.
Welcome to a special segment of Two on the Aisle. Well, coming this week, December 4th, is NBC's broadcast of Peter Pan.
Live.
Yes, a live follow-up to their very successful Sound of Music last year.
Absolutely.
It's going to have Allison Williams in the lead role, and to the excitement of all, Christopher Walken as Captain Hook. And frankly, more than anything else is what excites me, because when I first heard Peter Pan, I said, well, there's the Mary Martin original.
Of course.
There was a version with Kathy Rigby. This is the third time. Yet NBC is counting on that very Mary Martin history, which is so associated with their network, to draw in the ratings.
Right.
In addition, they're going to have Kristen Boyle, who I thought would have been a great Hook, and in fact played the role, the pre-Hook.
He played Black Stash
right.
in Peter and the
He instead will be Smee, and he will be taking over the role of the father, which I think he will be excellent as. Normally, the actor who plays Hook does that.
And the mother?
The mother, Kelly O'Hara.
Well, she's playing mother roles. Isn't that interesting?
Well, she'll be playing Mrs. Anna in The King and I very shortly. So,
and she just came off Bridges of Madison County.
So,
but she's found some good roles, man.
Yes.
She's really done a wonderful job.
So she's. It's a brief role in Peter Pan, but if you like what you see, you get to see her in The King and I. I think Christopher Walken is such an inspired choice. It's about as far away from Cyril Ritchard as you can get.
But equally crazy and idiosyncratic. I mean, Ritchard was off the walls, for God's sake. So.
And I think Christopher Walken will be the same. I'm hoping. Allison Williams, I've only seen one episode of Girls, and I just for some reason haven't gotten around to watching others, so I have no idea.
But she's, her dad's sort of very big at Channel 4, so I'm sure that had something to do with NBC.
This is a wonderful thing. NBC, I think, is already planning their third musical. I think there's a rumor that it will be Music Man. This year we saw The Nance on live at Lincoln Center. There's a series on PBS featuring off-Broadway plays.
These off-Broadway plays.
It's a wonderful time
for
theater. So Leslie and I were thinking, well, what should NBC do next?
In their live musical series.
Their live musical series.
So I went back, and I have a list here of 15 plays, and I went, no. But any one of them I would really like to see. But one rose to the top like the cream, and that was Brigadoon. And Brigadoon is something I've never seen on stage. I've only seen it as the musical in the movies. And
with Gene Kelly.
It was Gene Kelly, Van Johnson, and Sid Charisse, and it's about this little mythical town that comes out of the mist in Scotland once a year, once every 100 years.
Right.
And this reporter, played by Gene Kelly, happens to be there at that particular time, and he disappears into the mist with this and falls in love with this girl, but he can't stay there because if he does, he'll disappear.
He's trapped there for 100 years.
So who could come and play those roles? And I'm like, well, who could do it? Now, I don't know whether he can dance that well or not, but Gerard Butler was the guy who came to mind as a sexy guy. I mean, Hugh Jackman is another casting choice there for those two. But those are the only two people I could come up with for that role.
Hugh Jackman
would be inspired, I know. For the role of the girl, who was a ballet dancer because of Sid Charisse, Jennifer Lawrence came to mind, and I thought she could do anything. Hunger Games. I just saw Mockingjay last week, and then just for an odd choice because he was a second banana kind of thing in this, in the Van Johnson role, David Tennant as the best friend.
Very nice.
David Tennant, who was Doctor Who number 10, and that's those are the only three characters I remember.
There actually may be a television version of Brigadoon.
Yeah, you said that.
Somewhere. I recall reading it. I've never seen it, but I do recall reading it about it.
We'll go look it up.
I think that's a great choice. My
you.
choice would be She Loves Me.
Yes.
Now, this is Bach and Harnick and Stein, the same people who brought Fiddler. If I had to compose a list of my top 10 musicals, this would be on it. It's a wonderful show that doesn't get nearly the exposure that it should. There actually is a television production of it with a British cast, was shown on PBS 30 years ago. But what I would like to do is have it redone with the cast of How I Met Your Mother. I think they'd be perfect. Well, have Josh Radcor and Kristen Milioti, who played Ted and the mother. as the two correspondents who have this romance in their letters but can't stand each other in real life.
Right. It's the story of the little
Right.
shop around the corner.
Yes, exactly. A musicalized version of that. Neil Patrick Harris would be perfect as the sleazy clerk Kadai, you know, a womanizer who makes Barney look clean cut. Kobe Smothers could be another clerk in the store, the object of his affections, and Jason Segel as the timid clerk. They would work. They would all work perfectly together. Allison Hannigan, have her as the maitre d' in the restaurant
that's
scene.
a nice switch.
Yes, yes. Normally played by a man, but I think she would nail it. And just to round things out, we could have Marshall Manish, who played the driver, the taxi driver, the limousine driver, as Marichek, who owns the store. So he's moving up in the world. And David Henry, who played Ted's son, as the delivery clerk.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting.
That is something I would really want to see.
We should try to find some photos of all of these people and put them up. I wish we had. I wish we had the budget to actually put them in costumes or do little drawings.
That would be great.
But
now, if you think that only Mary Martin can play Peter Pan, you're in luck, because the Paley Museum of Television and Radio, I think that's what it's called
William
these
Paley
days.
Center, yes.
Yes, will be showing that on every weekend between now and I think January
4th
and 5th. Yes. Not only will you see it in glorious color, in living color, I think that's what they called it.
Not only in New York and L.A.
And L.A., but they will be showing you Mary Martin herself, who came to see it, and she spoke about it, I think, in the late 80s. And very interesting, our fellow Drama Desk member Jane Klein was there.
Jane Klein
was there. And she sat right behind Mary during the screening. And guess who clapped the most when it came to, do you believe in fairies? If you do, clap your hands. It was our Mary, yes.
I wish that the Mary Martin musical this year had been better, because she deserves a top-notch musical about her, if anybody ever did. What a brilliant performer she was.
Yes, she does. So theater is alive and well on television.
We gave you the options at Channel 4, and we have more. If you don't like those, we got a bunch more.
Contact us. We'll be right here on the aisle.
Two on the aisle. Thank you.
I think that went better.
Okay, well, yeah, we
think so.
cued each other. Well, you know, sometimes it does pay to rehearse.
Yes.
Just once in a while.
Absolutely.
Okay.